How's it going, guys? It's the Peruvian Trucker back with another video. And let me start by saying I've had this truck for about 30,000 miles and I've recorded videos in the dark. But I just realized I was trying to figure out why they look so dark when sometimes the interior can be so, or seem so illuminated. And I guess I finally realized that that's because when I opened the door, dome lights turn on, and there is no way to turn those on manually. So that sucks. Let me lock the door. So I'm coming at you from the TA in Aurora, Oregon, and I'm 7 miles away from my delivery address. There they go. This is as bright as I can manually make it. Well, guys, so here we go again. Trying this piece of shit microphone one more time. See how it is. You can hear how great it is. Well, enough of that. So, you know why you clicked on this video. We're about to finally embark on this journey and complete the order in one go. But before I do that, a couple things. One, everybody complains. Well, not everybody. I'm sorry. There's a lot of comments about people complaining about the audio and asking me to get a microphone, and the previous clip is exactly the reason why I rather just keep it as it is on my phone. I'm not gonna go on a 20-minute spiel on whatever it is I'm talking about on the video, only to find out in the end that it sounds like that and then have to do the whole video all over. I'd rather just trust my phone and know that it's working. For now, at least, until I get a proper setup for blogging or whatever. Number two, I want to apologize for the last video. I posted it honestly just for posting it. Not my best work, I think. But, you know, when there's not much to report on, there's not much to report on. That's it. It was a pretty uneventful couple of days. When everything runs smooth, it runs smooth. But I did do a lot of thinking, and I actually considered, if you watched the last video, I actually, I talked to my dad for a couple hours, and I was pretty set on not ordering a truck just yet. Which brings us to the third point that I wanted to address before we get into ordering the truck, and it's I wanted to give a huge shout out to Lyle from No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I talked with him on the phone a couple days ago, and he was well, first of all, thank you, man, for taking the time to talk to me. We talked on the phone, and he listened to some of the concerns that I had, and he was very understanding and very helpful with advice when it comes to what I should do. And it's on the lines of what I was thinking already. Like, this is the thing. What happened is that going to lease purchase was always my number one goal when I decided to go lease. But I wasn't counting on lease purchase being available so soon into my leasing journey. So when I got into trucking, I had a lot of priorities: lowering my debt, clearing my debt, and I want to buy a house and get other things going for me. And lease purchase was within those things, but again, because I wasn't counting on it coming back so soon, I had other priorities that I was set on before this option became available. And as soon as the lease purchase option became available, I kind of had to shift those priorities, because the longer I stay on this truck, the one that I'm on right now, the more money I'm burning or wasting. And when the lease purchase option became available, I knew that I had to jump on it right away. But I've been on the fence for a couple weeks, not only because I haven't decided on the options yet 100%, but also because I wasn't sure if I wanted to, dump all the money in that right now. There's that I could lower with that money, and there was that dilemma on what's the best course of action, which is the best path to take to accomplish all my goals in the most efficient way. And I expressed that doubt or that concern to Lyle, and we both came to the conclusion that I came to the conclusion that while I do want to lower some of my debt, his advice of going lease purchase first makes more sense, because it's the least wasteful path. If I were to lower my debt right now and stay on this truck, I would be wasting basically $1,000. Basically the $1,300 that are going into this truck will be being burned every week, instead of putting them towards a truck that I'm actually going to keep. So again, this is going a little longer than it should, but thank you, Lyle, for taking the time. And if you guys don't know who that is, I'm going to put the link to his channel in the description. I'm going to post a picture right here. He makes a lot of very informative and very good videos. Probably more to the point than mine, for sure. And he has a lot of experience, not only in trucking, but in life. So check him out if you haven't. But anyway, let's get to it. By the way, another thing that Lyle recommended was to have at least $10,000 saved up for emergencies when you go lease purchase. Because when you go lease purchase, some benefits of leasing are, I guess, taken away. You no longer get breakdown pay, and you don't get deferred payments if you participate in any of the classes at the terminals or any events that Prime might have. If you're regular lease, they can defer your payment for that week that you're down doing company activities, per se. So again, $10,000. At this moment, my e-fund is at $6,000. Some of that money, not all of it, is going to go to the down payment. The $5,000 are more than covered. It's the options that are going to come out from my e-fund. But that is just fine. I'm still gonna have some money on my e-fund, and the truck's not gonna be ready until April potentially, so that gives me enough time to build my e-fund up to $10,000 and be ready for any misadventures that may ensue when I have it. And that's it. Yeah, again, thank you, man, for the advice and taking the time, and check out his channel. I gotta be honest with you guys. This is going to be emotional. I've been sitting in front of this camera for the last over an hour for sure, between recording the process of me ordering the truck and going through the options and explaining, breaking down every option and why I am choosing one over the other. And my total came to almost $10,000. It's basically the $5,000 non-refundable deposit plus $4,734 in options, which is more than what I was expecting, but there's not much I can do about that. It's the options that I want and need for the truck. Combination of want and need. But and it's not that I don't have the money. I have the money, but I can't afford to spend that money right now. What does that mean? It means that, you know, if I were to spend that money, I would be digging into my emergency fund more than what I'm comfortable. And it wouldn't be smart. The level of exposure that I would be left with or left at, it's, in my opinion, for me, it's not smart. I want to have the peace of mind that if I break down or if anything happens, if anything were to go sideways, I'm covered. And if I spend that money right now, I won't be covered. So I'm gonna have to wait probably like another 2 weeks to build up that emergency fund to where I can spend that money and be fine. But not only that, and that's the reason why I can't order it. But I just gotta get this off my chest, I guess. Like, I look at the amount of money that I've been able to save in the last 3 months. You know, over $10,000. And like I mentioned in the past, how do I word this? I have other debt. I have credit card debt, which is a combination of medical bills because I had surgery, and because I got into an accident, and also some credit card debt because of some bad decisions that I made with my cars. But you know, I assume I'm okay with it. But when I see, you know, $10,000, and I think of the amount of debt that I could lower, you know, there was that dilemma, and I discussed that with Lyle. You know, like, I'd rather just wait a little bit longer, because when I jumped on my standard lease, I was comfortable with, I don't want to say burning $1,300 on this truck, but it is, like, really, I'm burning $1,300 on this truck because it's something that I would never own. But before lease purchase became available, I was okay with that because that was the only option to potentially make more money than if I would have stayed company or if I would have gone on a different route. So the moment that the lease purchase option became available, my priorities had to shift. You know, like the debt that I wanted to lower had to take a back seat, because the day that option became available, lease purchase that is, the day that became available, I like every week after that became an option, I am burning $1,300 on this truck, because I could be spending the same amount of money on a truck that I'm actually going to keep. You know, and yes, I won't get that truck until April of next year, but you know, if I take 10 weeks to order that truck, right there, it's $10,000 that I'm gonna burn, because I'm gonna get that truck 10 weeks past the days that I could have gotten it. And that's why I know that shifting my priorities and ordering the truck is more important than lowering my debt at this moment. Because as hard as it is to see that money not lower my balances, I know that while my balances are basically going to stay the same, or my debt's going to stay the same every every week, it's $1,300 that I'm wasting. I'm getting repetitive, but I'm trying to drive that point through, I guess. And I guess that I don't even. I'm sorry, guys. This is gonna go raw. I don't even know why I'm talking to the camera and and trying to convey that. That's my situation. That's my my dilemma. And I'm sorry if it's a waste of your time, but it's one of those moments where you realize that you're an adult. I'm 29 years old, and I know I'm an adult, and I pay consequences for most of my actions. But I don't know. I guess I'm having an epiphany as I make this video. But I'm just gonna end it there. Again, just to recap, I'm just gonna recap it real quick. I was ready to order the truck, but turns out that I'm not ready. I need to save a little bit more. Just trying not to make the same financial mistakes that I've made in the past, and that's what I'm trying to, I guess, convey. Basically, while I could pay off my debt right now, or pay off a lot of my debt right now, if I pay $10,000, if I use the $10,000 that I have right now and lower my debt, it's going to take me another 10 weeks per se, or God knows how long, to build those savings back up. And now that the lease purchase option is available, every week that goes by, I burn $1,300. So if I wait another 10 weeks, I would basically lose another $10,000. I'm trying to convey that. I don't know if anyone watched to this point, but that's basically what I'm trying to convey, and I'm just gonna leave it raw because it is what it is, and I am who I am. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it to this point of the video,